Day trading sucks. Now, why would I say that? I'm going to show you why right here. Here's a chart of Rackz, R-A-X. This is from Thursday. I'm making the video on Friday, May 16th. The market's closed now, but the SPY was getting killed on Thursday. And so I already had Rackz on bounce watch because it had gapped up a couple days before and sold off for a couple days into support. So it was a great candidate for a bounce. And if it breaks the high of the day, it's probably going to get some short covering and make a really nice move, okay? So this whole area here, this tight consolidation, was occurring while the SPY was getting smacked, okay? So the SPY is selling off hard, Rackz is holding up, all right? That's a really good sign. SPY hits support and Rackz pops out of this base. I go long right here, okay? Stop right below the low of the day. Now, if Rackz can get through the high of the day, we should get a really nice pop to sell into, right? And get to a break-even stop as quickly as we can. Very next candle touches, or maybe within a penny of the high of the day. I think I've caught one, and then right back down, stops me out about 10 minutes later. Now, in and of itself, that's just a normal trade that didn't work. No big deal. I'm not whining about a trade that didn't work, okay? But here's why it sucks. Fast forward to about 10 minutes left in the day on Thursday. Now, I've stopped out a long time ago, but you see this volume coming in right here on Rackz? Let's add one more candle in. And you see what Rackz did. So my biggest losing trade of the day cost me whatever it was, 20-something cents a share, I guess, 30-something cents a share, I don't even remember. Shoots up with 6 minutes left in the session to 32, all right? That's already hard enough to take. Now this morning, goes up to over 37. It was actually over, I think, 39 in pre-market, which means a few hours, in trading hours anyway, there was an overnight in there, but a few hours after I get stopped out for a 30-cent loss, the same stock is up about 10 bucks a share. So that's a little bit hard to take. Now, does day trading really suck? Of course not. I absolutely love trading. I love getting up in the morning, coming into my office, trading in the chat room, sharing ideas. Other people have great ideas. It's a great way to make a living, and I absolutely love the challenge, love everything about it. But the best way for a day trader to handle something like a Rackz type situation, to me, there's only one way to handle it, guys, and that's just smile, tip your hat to the market. And that's exactly what I did. I absolutely just thought, I looked at Rackz at the end of the day and just chuckled. And then, I log in this morning and it's up even, way higher in pre-market. And all I did was laugh. Actually, was very close to taking a short in pre-market, which would have been nice, but I opted not to. I thought maybe Rackz had it in for me, so I was a little scared of it. But anyway, it's all you can do. Smile and tip your hat to the market. Now, years ago, I might have smashed my keyboard, or my response might have been, well, next time I'm not going to use a stop, because look what happens. You get stopped out. Next thing you know, the stock rallies. Now, Rackz isn't a typical situation, but there's not a day trader watching this video that doesn't know that feeling that day trading sucks at times, and it absolutely can. It can be painful, right? But you have to realize there's going to be other trades, all right? Now, some trading tips, I can't talk, some trading tips I have for this market. When your day's over, write down all your trades from the day. And include notes, and here's why I say that, because something I preach in the chat room all the time is if you're getting ready to take a trade, okay, and you can't explain to somebody who's looking over your shoulder, it can be a seasoned day trader or someone who's never traded before, or a fictitious person, I don't care, your make-believe friend. Just pretend you're talking to somebody looking over your shoulder and you're getting ready to take a trade. If you can't articulate to that person, here's why I'm taking this trade, right? It's pulled back to support. The SPY's moving in my favor. It was really strong this morning, and it's a 50% retracement of the original move. Everything's in my favor, right? Or if it breaks this level, it's got a couple catalysts on the chart just above. So you've got two more catalysts. This should really catapult this thing. Whatever your reason, it's come into support on the weekly chart. I mean, I don't care. It doesn't matter what your reason. You have to be able to explain a reason to somebody standing over your shoulder. And if you can't, don't take the trade. It's just that simple, all right? So when you go to write notes at the end of the day on every trade that you took, you're going to find out if you had a reason. Okay, you might think at the time, oh, this looks good, and it's just as deep as that. It just looks good. Well, at the end of the day, when you have to go write your notes down on why you took X, Y, Z, and now you're sitting there dumbfounded going, you know what, I don't even know why I took it. That's great. That's a learning lesson, okay? That's just a mistake you made. Everybody makes mistakes in every job, right? So there's a mistake you made, and when the week's over, start to look for patterns. How many times that week were you not even able to write in your notes a decent reason why you took a trade? If you start to see that you're doing that over and over, man, you got to purge those mistakes from your trading. So then going forward, if you're considering a trade, you'll make sure the first thing that's going to pop into your head is, why am I taking it, right? And so if you can't come up with a reason, you'll just sit on your hands and don't take the trade, and you'll find your bottom line will improve because of that. Some other tips: don't trade alone. There's too many good traders out there with good ideas you haven't heard. It's also beneficial for you to share your methodology with others. I actually love running the chat room. It makes me a better trader because I have to articulate why I'm taking a trade to 200 traders in the room, right? I can't just, oh, I'm going in XYZ here, trust me, right? I have to, project the chart and explain why I'm taking it. And so that alone helps me trade. So if you're trading with a group, you get to share your ideas, which is going to make you a better trader. And you're going to learn a bunch of ideas, stuff you never even thought of from other traders. So it's very beneficial to trade with a group. All right? And also another benefit of a group is a lot of people belong to real-time news services and so on. And typically a chat room will be able to alert you of news on certain stocks, and you might get in before a nice run. Okay, so definitely try to trade with a group of other people that that are looking out for each other. It makes trading more fun and absolutely more profitable. If you're struggling, if you're on a losing streak, trade smaller or paper trade. I'm still a believer that you should trade. Okay, maybe cut it down to 100 shares a trade versus paper trading, because paper trading is just not the same. You've got to have you've got to have a dog in the hunt, if you will, or you just don't get the same feeling. But, cut it down to 100 shares, something like that. Also, learn to nibble at areas of support. What I mean by nibble, normally say you take 1,000 shares on a trade. Why not start off much smaller? Why not take 200 shares, okay? And then if it starts to work for you, then you can add higher, maybe as it's breaking another level, something like that. So when you add more, your original purchase was much cheaper, or cheaper, at least lower. So your ad is what we call in the chat room a free ad, right? Because you're buying shares, and now your new average is going to be below the price of your second purchase, right? You're averaging up. So your second buy is technically a free ad. It's almost like getting free shares. Now this is going to raise your average price, but once you take your free ad, just make sure you protect your new average, which is going to be closer. Not as but it's free shares as long as you protect your new average. I hope that made sense. I babbled a little bit there, but and then something I don't think you hear very much, and I think it's probably some of the best advice in trading: sell into strength, not pullbacks. A lot of people say, well, if it comes back this far, then I'm going to get out, right? Now, you certainly want to stay in something that's running in your favor. But let's bring in the Apple chart from today, okay? This is what I mean by sell into strength. Let's get a drawing tool going here. Okay, whenever you're in something, say you're in Apple. Bear with me 1 second here. Say you're in Apple and, and it's grinding higher, and I'll just kind of draw a little line loosely connecting the bottoms of the candles, and then you get this almost straight up, really nice volume. Most people start to get big eyes and they say, oh, 594, look at that. It's going to hit 600 in the next 5 minutes, right? I'm not selling till then. What I teach people is whenever you're in something, and for whatever reason you took it and it's grinding higher, and then you get shaped to the upside, that should immediately trigger a sell reaction in your brain. Now, you don't have to sell at all because Apple might still go higher, right? But anytime you get shaped like this in your favor, wouldn't you rather sell there at 595 basically? And this isn't a great example. Well, you even got a nice push there, but wouldn't you rather sell there? Actually, this is a horrible example because the options expiration and Apple just ran into the close. But I think you get my point. Wouldn't you rather sell into shape? Now, typically, something like this Apple, you'd think I'd have taken some research time and found a better example, but typically something like this, when you get upside shape, you're gonna get a pullback like this. Okay, so you can either sell up here, or you can give back all this profit. Again, probably the dumbest example I could have used because Apple ran into the close. But typically, when you see this shape change, you're going to get a big fat retracement, right? As a matter of fact, this is something I generally would look at to maybe get a short in when you get that shape change, especially if it's into some kind of resistance. So keep that in mind. That is something most traders don't do, and I've seen people give back an entire move, and then they look and say, man, look at that one push. Why didn't I sell there? So always take some off the table. If you got 200 shares of Apple, take 100 off into that shape. Again, a lot of times that would retrace. So again, terrible example, but you can see how much time I put into preparing for this video. I just got a wild hair and decided to make a video on a Friday evening, so go figure. But lastly, let's get this out of the way. Have fun. That's really, really important. If you're trading and you're not having fun, my first reaction is you're probably trading too big, and that takes a lot of the fun out of it because you're too nervous and you can't trade right. So again, if you're trading 1,000 shares, just for fun, spend a day or a week trading 100 shares or 200 shares, and you'll learn immediately how a day trader is supposed to feel. Okay, you're supposed to be in a position completely worry-free. And if you jump 1,000 share average down to 100 or 200 shares, you're going to realize immediately, and I've heard this from so many people, you're going to realize immediately how much clearer you see things and how you don't worry about about getting stopped out. Every little tick against you, you don't just kill it and then only to watch the trade work later. Okay, so that's extremely important. And if you're trading too big, you can't have fun. So definitely try to make it fun. Trade smart. Position size is really important. So if you have any questions about that, you can shoot me an email, and I'll quit babbling. We'll talk to you later.